afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another Flycast Partners webinar. My name is Rich Longo, and I will be your host. Today's webinar is using BMC's Control M version 9.0.18, presented by none other than our own Bobby McCullough. Bobby has been in the IT industry for well over 20-plus years and has been with Flycast Partners to help us expand our reach into digital transformation. He has been involved in the implementation of multiple tools for major multinational financial organizations, software engineer for USPS, ITIL V3 and Scrum certified with experience in ITSM, ITFM, ITAM, and all digital transformation. Before we get going here, Bobby, today, let me introduce our organization. Flycast Partners is here to deliver a seriously amazing IT experience. We are founded and staffed by personnel that have many years of experience in the IT space, and we took the best ideas from all of those collective experiences and added the best components necessary to grow and become a leading value-added reseller in the North American IT market. We offer best-in-class implementation services and training, as well as additional support in ITSM, ITAM, workload automation to batch processing, artificial intelligence, capacity optimization and cost control, enterprise service management, and all using nothing but ITIL best practice. Our professional services can easily scale up or down to meet the IT needs of any organization, regardless of your size, or complexity, or budgetary restrictions. We offer implementation services both on-site and remote, as well as training to reinforce your company's long-term IT success. Our ongoing remote administration and support service offerings will enable you to focus on your normal day-to-day operations, saving you both precious time and money. I encourage you to feel free to reach out to us directly at 844-FLYCAST. That's 844-359-2278. Or simply visit our website and chat with one of our ITSM specialists in the chat box. You can go to our website to look at various upcoming events that you may have an interest in, look at additional training or data sheets or white papers, or simply go and check out a webinar that interests you or someone else on your staff and sign up. We'd be more than happy to have you. By all means, we encourage you to take a look at some of the training courses that we offer in our training center. And our training center, not only do we offer ITIL training, but we also offer a variety of training courses that may relate to what you are doing in your job today, whether it be in big data and analytics, whether it be in some Microsoft training that you require to advance your career a little bit further. By all means, take advantage. Go check out our website and see if there's something there for you. Now, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to our star of the show today, Bobby McCullough. Now, Bobby, I am sliding the screen over to you now, sir. Let's go ahead and unmute you and see what kind of sound we have. Are you there, sir? I see your screen loud and clear.
Great. Can you hear me, Rich?
I hear you even loud and clear. Fantastic. It's all yours, sir.
Great. Thank you very much, Rich. Welcome, everybody. Today, we're going to talk about Control M 9.0.18. This is the latest release of Control M. We're gonna talk mostly about the new features and functions. Now, this isn't just for today's presentation really isn't just for people looking to learn what they could gain from upgrading. We're going to cover that. If you've already got Control M, you're going to see the new features and things that are available in the system, what you're going to gain from upgrading. But this is also helpful for people that are looking for a tool. If you've got a tool you're not happy with, or you don't have a tool or a collection of tools, and you might be looking, we're going to cover the latest features that are usually things that have been developed to help solve specific problems that customers are having. And so by seeing this, you're going to get an understanding BMC's depth of commitment, and their coordination with their customer base. So we're going to talk a lot about digital transformation. This is key to a lot of BMC's solutions. A focus of BMC's the last few years is achieving digital transformation and doing it faster, more smoothly, and in this case, about starting fast. In your mind, though, you may think, well, we're not even undergoing any kind of digital transformation. Well, really, digital transformation is ubiquitous. It's happening all the time. Examples of active transformations: you might be migrating your organization to a new ERP, or maybe you're migrating some services out to the cloud, or maybe going to a containerized or virtualized environment. Those are all active transformations. But there's also passive transformations as well, when you're trying to stay on legacy tools, and those tools must be used on newer systems, used by integrate with newer systems that you're really not in control of. So there's some passive transformation that goes on as well. So everyone really is undergoing, in today's business environment, everyone is really undergoing some type of digital transformation. So with Control M, upgrading is a critical step. And really this is true of most of the tools that you guys might have. If you've got an older version, and upgrading to a newer version is always going to be critical. But there's perceptions around that. It's usually perceived as costly and risky. You know, oh, what kind of problems are we going to have? How difficult is it going to be? What's our downtime associated with all that? These are all things that affects the core business, that affects the bottom line. And so digital transformation, especially the upgrade portion of it, is always scary, and how it might impact innovation. You know, you're taking the system down, you're impacting business, you're adding complexity into the system, and you've got to learn about these new capabilities and any new configurations. And in many cases, organizations might consider it just easier to stay where they are. So what we've done, or what BMC's done, is we've developed a new delivery model. We're going to go into this in a little more detail. But we're going to have an annual release. So the new releases are going to be time-driven. There's going to be quarterly fix packs and updates and things, but generally an annual release. And the idea or goals around this, and you'll hear this through these next few slides, is zero downtime. We want to take out that risk and that perceived risk with performing an upgrade. We want to allow it to be an in-place upgrade, so that we don't have to worry about new infrastructure, new hardware that might be needed to support a new type system. So this is the goal. This is where we're heading. So what we've done is the upgrade path to 9.0.18. It is a migration from version 8. So it is not an upgrade if we're going from version 8. If we're on version 9, we can do an in-place upgrade. And once we've got you to 9.0.18 on all elements of Control M, at that point, you can upgrade at any point. The upgrades, the patches are all cumulative. So you can skip releases if you need to, very, very user-friendly, and timing-wise for how those upgrades can happen. They're going to be able to be in place. We've got a downtime goal of not to exceed 5 minutes per Control M Enterprise Manager or Control M server. And so that really reduces your downtime in your system and outages, other groups being impacted. This is even we've even added this to our high availability and distributed enterprise management servers so that they can be upgraded in parallel so that you have minimal downtime. Making it easier with a new welcome page. So if you're a new customer, this is a much more user-friendly page for installing the system or some element of the system that you might need. So we're just making this more user-friendly for you and helpful so that customers can take care of this on their own if they choose to. Backward compatibility. This is a really, really nice feature. It's something that I've encountered in the last year working with Control M, where customers have talked about how we've got agents, we've got our Control M server, we got our enterprise server. Where how does that upgrade happen? What happens when we have one element upgraded and another piece not? And there were issues in the past with that. Now we have the ability to have backward compatibility, so that if your Control M server or agents are on either 8 or 9 or the latest, they'll work with the system. Your enterprise manager server needs to be on 9.18, and then your clients can be 9 or above. Now, this kind of backward compatibility does disable any new functionality, any of the new 9.18 functionality. But this allows you some time to get your system upgraded and to get things in place for you to have the whole system on 9.18 and then roll out the new functions that we're talking about. That fully functional 9.18 does require, again, 9.18 on all elements. We do have some compatibility with some of the older agents, though. So this enables your administrators to apply fixes and apply patches without upgrading the entire system. So it's much more business-friendly model for upgrading and eliminates downtime and makes it easier for you to organize and schedule. We've also included the application packs. So if you're a user of Control M, there's a wealth of systems and tools that it can interface with to launch some type of workload job or action. If you've talked to someone about Control M, you've seen our demonstrations about those templates, the massive templates where you can grab any of those types of jobs to add in a workload. These are all now available in an application pack that's a part of the system, so it doesn't have to be downloaded separately. These application packs are all part of the single system when you get it from BMC. Plus, we've now added the ability, having that as a part of the system, of the ability to mass deploy and upgrade. So if we need to push agents out, we have the or upgrade agents, we have the ability to do that from our configuration manager, Control M configuration manager. In times there's no deployment on a client, you're able to update information directly from the system. And again, no agent downtime. Once we get your agents up to 9.0, 18, then there's really no agent downtime with the system. We listen to customers about scheduling, workload scheduling and reporting requirements. And so really two big areas that we focused on, enhancing automation, making it easier to create your workflows, and doing it with less jobs. So for those of you that are Control M customers, you probably, if you've bought, at least in the last couple of years, the system is priced based on the number of jobs, the maximum number of jobs run in a day. And having the ability to have fewer jobs in the system lowers that cost. Also, we've enhanced the usability and flexibility of the tool to help improve the customer experience. And we're going to go through each of these features, so I'm really not going to spend any time on them here. But really, this is listening to the customer, listening to to the users of the system, and focusing on some changes to specifically address their issues. So the first one is auto-edit variable simulation. So sometimes it's possible in your workload to have a variable that will be resolved either before or during the job submission. And we've worked a lot of logic into Control M to allow you to promote your jobs from development to test to production. But one area that was lacking was this simulating variables. So in order to test this and to make it work, a lot of times organizations had to submit orders for jobs just to validate their auto-edit syntax. Now this can be done through a particular variable that simulates it, and so this can be done before the job submission, again, lowering job counts. Really neat feature, and this is where I'd love to be able to hear you guys, because I expect to hear some oohs and ahs if you guys if I could hear you right now. If you use Control M, you know about the ability to do cyclic jobs, repetitive jobs that might need to run more than once during a day, every hour or something like that. Financial organizations sometimes use that for currency valuations and exchange rates. We've now added that cyclic feature, that repetitive do-again feature, to folders. And so this allows you to have a complete folder of jobs. So rather than having to go in and set up the cyclic feature on each of the jobs within the folder, you can just assign it to the folder itself. And makes it much, much easier to schedule these types of jobs. Then in the monitoring domain, you're able to see that that particular repetitive folder. It's identified in the monitoring domain, so you know that this is something that's going to repeat. Now, having those cyclic folders, that is something that can bring up an issue with ending it, because if a job doesn't finish in a cyclic folder, then the folder never ends, because the task didn't end, so the folder doesn't end. So we've added a new feature now called End Folder, and it's not just for those, because it's possible that you could have a workflow where you have a job that you expect to not end properly or to not start, and that's a proper way for the workflow to run. But without that end folder, you're going to have an issue with that. So we've added this new end folder feature that allows you to tell the system ignore if something didn't complete or didn't start. If we get to this point, then the folder's been completed. We've added some new batch impact manager alerts. So one is to let you know that it worked okay. We were doing a good job previously on letting you know when it looked like there was going to be a problem or there was a problem. We didn't have a way of alerting you if it was okay. We listened to the customers, and we've added that capability. Also now notifying you when a service is late past its deadline. Again, now we're late, or we're going to be late, we were good at. Now we're able to, again, tell you if it's okay, or tell you if you've actually gone late past your deadline. Control M reports. So we're replacing the outdated infrastructure of the reporting facility. Most of the reports from the current reporting facility are going to be brought over. One of the big advantages of this new facility is it's going to be significantly easier to create reports based on demand. So if you contract with us to make reports or you choose to build them yourselves, they're going to be easier, less time to build those reports. The reporting facility is going to let you generate a lot of information on your batch activity. So again, we've listened to what you customers have asked for, and reporting around what alerts have come in, better, more detailed auditing reports, also trend analysis, so that the management and executives are always looking for that type of information. We're going to have that in the reports now, where you can utilize that. It's a centralized architecture, so it's a very thin client approach, very easy on the resources, and very user-friendly as well. Now, this is another really nice feature. If you've used Control M for any length of time and you've gone into the monitoring domain, you know, you might have created some criteria for a particular viewpoint that shows you information that a way that you want to see it. Now we've got the ability to go in and save those recent viewpoints so that you can pull them back up again and re-access them at any point in time. This is another one that, again, love to be able to listen to you guys, because this is a really nice feature that we've added. We've now consolidated the user interface for Workload Change Manager, Self-Service, and Managed File Transfer. So it's all within a single portal now. We actually had, in prior versions, separate portals for some of these. And so we brought these all together in a single portal. It made more sense to have them in a portal that way. We did a technology refresh on it so that it's compatible with HTML5, and it's certified in Chrome, Fox, Edge, IE11, and Safari. You can see here the list of plugins, different things available from the planning domain that we have now access to from this web client. Better linking, bookmarking URLs, and getting right to records from searches. And that Cyclic folder that we talked about, that's also available on the web client. So for your self-service customers, that's not just a feature that we put into the back for your administrators. That's actually out there on the web where your end users can request those kind of actions. So now I want to talk about just a little bit about some additional functionality. Some of this may be new to you, some of it may not be. It depends on what particular version you're on. So we've revamped communication standards between the Control M client and the Enterprise Manager. And so we're now using HTTP, HTTPS. Enhance the security, so we're able to define SSL keys and simplified that as well, doing it through a single port rather than different elements being through different ports, and also some enhancements around our database features as well. The system uses a Postgres SQL database, but we've now added support for an external Postgres database. So if you're already using Postgres and you want to continue using it, just not the internal one, we have support for that as well as some AWS and MS SQL non-default port support as well. So this is a key element for anyone who is looking for a tool This is something that we put a lot of time into to help customers as they're making those migrations over from other tools to Control M. A big part of our development investment is on conversions to make it easier for you to bring your jobs, your workloads over from those other systems and bring it into Control M. That's one of the biggest parts of our business is replacing other workload management tools. So we've added some new conversion types to make it a little easier to get some of this information in. CA, Atomic, Dollar Universe, and AutoSys, we've all updated to make it easier and more streamlined to bring those in. We've also given you the ability to build your own conversion. So, you know, you may have something that you've created or worked on that you want to bring in and convert. We've got the ability to build your own conversion as well now. Really trying to make you self-sufficient. We want to help you anytime you want and need the help, but we also want to make you self-sufficient as well, so that if you want to do it yourself and take care of it and move on, you've got that capability. Some of you may already know about this. We just continue to further develop this. Our Control M automation API. This is really for DevOps groups who are used to command line or JSON, and so you're able to build workflows in JSON and submit those. The rest of the workload group can manage them like other workloads in the system, but you just manage and work on them from your side in JSON type files and submit them into the system. So this really allows DevOps to work with the system, work with it in a way that they're comfortable, but still able to apply the business rules that we apply through the configuration of Control M. So we talked a little bit about there being a new landing page. Online documentation is updated daily. So there's always information out there, always new information out. This welcome page is available also from the Control M Enterprise Manager. So when you load up the tool, you go in to go in to do your work, you can always pop over to the welcome page and see any new updates, anything that's going on. Right now, from there, you're able to see videos about the Cyclic folder and in folder feature, as well as the new delivery model. So we've got a couple of customer quotes here talking about 9.0.18 and just how it reduces costs, reduces time, really beneficial for those customers. Here, a global retailer reduced their time to migrate by 80%. That's all I have of the slide deck today. Rich, do we have any questions?
I don't have any in the Q&A section as of right now, but folks, if you do have a question, now is the time to ask. You have Bobby's undivided attention, so please, by all means, if you have a question, take a moment and type that in the Q&A section of this WebEx, or simply send it through our chat box, and we'll go ahead and try and get the answer for you right now. This is a great opportunity for you to get those answers right now. Bobby would be more than happy to go over the latest version of Control M, and I know on this webinar we have a couple of you folks that have not actually experienced or utilized Control M before. So now is your time to ask any questions you may have about that tool, or maybe some questions about comparing it to some other things that are out there. So we'll give you another moment or so to type in your questions for those of you that do have questions. And those of you that are a little bit, too shy maybe to type those questions in for us today, we'll also take your questions via info@flycastpartners.com. That's info@flycastpartners.com, and give us about 5 business days to get those answered for you. Or simply reach out to us. Pick up the phone, 844-FLYCAST. That's 844-359-2278. That's 844-359-2278. And we'll try and get you an answer while we're on the phone with you, I'm sure. A great presentation, Bobby. Nice exposure to the latest version of Control M. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem. No problem. I enjoy talking about it. And it was apparent to me when I saw some of these features a month or so back that BMC was really listening to the customer base and really focusing not just change and updates to their tools, but also customer commitment updates. So it's nice seeing that.
Well, it looks like that we don't have anyone with any questions as of right now. And once again, folks, if you do decide that you have a question for us, we encourage you to reach out at info@flycastpartners.com. Pick up that phone and call us at 844-FLYCAST. That's 844-359-2278. And we'll be more than happy to get the answer for you. With that being said, thank each and every one of you for your time today. I know it is very precious, and we'll wish you a great weekend. Until next time.